just wanted to ask you a bit about the power of intent.
Yeah.
A lot of people misunderstand how powerful this is. In fact, most people don't even know that intent has a power, and they think that what is manifested outwardly has nothing to do with what their intent of that mission was. How would you explain intent to somebody who has absolutely no knowledge or understanding of this power whatsoever?
Yeah. If we speak about the power of intent, in essence we speak about the power of consciousness. Because everything which is happening outside is a reflection of the consciousness inside. And even outside is also consciousness. But it is the level on the surface. So if you see a movement in a lake on the surface, and you have through in the lake a little stone, which is coming very deeply, then we have to realize that the waves on the surface are the consequences of the stone you threw in the depth. Intent and intention means that it is coming from the inside, our feeling, our consciousness, our thinking, our acting. So if people is becoming in awakeness, they're going to awake to who they are, what they are. They are awaking from the lies, thousands of lies. It's for weeping if you realize so much lies are on this world, mountains of lies and lies. But people is going to understand that. You cannot hide the truth, impossible. So a lot of people is coming now in the feeling, in the consciousness of we can do something, we can act from the inside, and they are realizing that everything they are feeling, thinking, doing is giving a reaction. So imagine that we can organize all the power of consciousness, which is one. It is one. It's already one. But we think from the mind, it's diversity. You, me, thousands, millions, milliards, billions, trillions, etc. But there is one consciousness. As if we awake to what we really are, this consciousness, which is one. And we realize also that everything we say, think, act, is having consequences literally in the whole universe. If the Zen master Dogen, which was a very famous Zen master Dogen, he break down every system from your mind. If he said, if you with your finger give a direction to the heaven, you have to realize that the whole universe is changing. Happily, not too much. Like the butterfly who is flying in the forest can make a storm. We know that now with our theories of science. So if the children of the earth are awakening to their divine consciousness, they can make a storm of love, changement in the outside, which are no reactions from old systems. Because what we call now changement is no changement, it's the old system. There's new clothes. And because people is having such a strong feeling from, I like to be home in myself, they believe the change is outside them. And they don't believe in the change inside them. So the power of intent is that if we are going to awake quickly, what I say is not correct, because you cannot take a force and say you have to awake. It's impossible. But I mean it as an image. If the people is going to awake quickly, very quickly, then we create a field of consciousness on the planet, in the planet, from our heart, which can give a resistance to every negative, dark power. If you awake in the morning, or I awake in the morning, we don't realize we are coming back from a sleep which was a unification from my little soul, Jiva, Atman, with the big soul of the universe. And in the morning you are saying, oh, I slept so well. I slept so well. But who is that I that said I slept so well? Because if you are sleeping, you don't remember yourself. Intention means that you are going to awake also on the E, the I. The I that slept very well is the self, the big Atman. That was in a dreamless state or in a dream state. But if you are going further, you awake above dreamless state and dream state and sleeping even. Even if the body is on the bed and sleeps, you are completely yourself, in peace, in love, in light. And the body is automatically doing what he has to do. Turning the body about 2 hours, streaming the blood, beating the heart, breathing. Are you doing something? A few o'clock in the night and you say, oh, I have to turn my body and to take care for my heart beating? It's going automatically. So awakening means also that we are going to awake above every form. And that's not for one person, a Buddha or Christ, for everyone, everyone. If we think, oh, he, she's doing wrong. Everyone is having this intention of power of consciousness in him, herself. We have not only forgotten, we are manipulated to forget these forces. Churches, political systems, bank systems, material conditions, education, knowledge. They have only one aim, and we think, okay, that is not an aim, they forgot it themselves. Yes, it's their aim, their agenda, that you forget everything, who you are, what you are. And if you awake to your intention, what you are the only real force. The rest of the force is dependent. And if you have dependent force, you have to give it food, energy, oil, gas, electronical food for here. But if you live from yourself, in yourself, out yourself, without beginning, without dying, they cannot kill you. Like the Bhagavad Gita is saying, a sword cannot split it, water cannot make it wet, wind cannot move it, fire cannot burn it, because what you are is independent. And we have lived thousands of years in a matrix of dependency, slavery. Lulus say the clay tablets. Lulu means slaves. Even in the Gospel of Philippus from Nagamadi, there is a beautiful text that Argon means Lucifer, tries ions, that means age after age after age, to make human being to a copy, to an object, and then the text is saying for making him to a slave. And now we are going to awake to our intention. This is a power. This is the real power. And if the system tries to